On Sunday, we discussed some of the scientific, scare quote, challenges to Christianity. We'll certainly address it more this week, but we likely won't have time to work through Alvin Plantinga's argument against evolutionary naturalism. I want you to be aware of it because it provides a powerful defeater for this prevailing worldview. Recall that evolutionary naturalism teaches that our brains are a product of chance, natural selection, survivability. So our moral intuitions or logical conclusions aren't rooted in truth, but in advantage. Matter of fact, you could rewind human history from before evolution began, then push play again, and we could have completely different moral and logical intuitions. It's completely arbitrary on this evolutionary naturalistic model. So taking this into account, let's look at what Plantinga says. Here's his argument. So the first promise is the probability that our rational faculties are reliable given evolutionary naturalism is low. Note, this is because our minds did not arise because of truth, but because of survival advantage. The second premise is anyone who believes evolutionary naturalism and sees that the first premise is true has a defeater for believing that our cognitive faculties are reliable. So my commentary on that is, if our minds don't tell us what is true, but only what is advantageous, how can we trust that our minds are telling us the truth? Plantinga's third premise. Anyone who has a defeater for the belief that his cognitive faculties are reliable has a defeater for any other belief that he has. My commentary. To follow the argument, since our brains aren't made to find truth, we can't count on our brains to be truthful. Plantinga's fourth premise, if anyone who believes evolutionary naturalism thereby acquires a defeater for evolutionary naturalism, then evolutionary naturalism is self-defeating and cannot rationally be believed. My note, this is crucial. This is the crucial point here. Since we can't count on our brains to tell us the truth, we can't count on them to tell us that evolutionary naturalism is true. So Plantinga's conclusion, evolutionary naturalism cannot be rationally believed. So does this make sense? I know there's some vocabulary here that maybe we should go over. But does it begin to make sense? Because if we can wrap our minds around this, because our minds actually work, by the way, then we can show that evolutionary naturalism is untrue. I've read books about evolution, carbon dating, how long the days were in the book of Genesis, all of that stuff. If this is your bag, knock yourself out. But I gotta tell you that I barely understand the science. Evolutionists are largely unimpressed with what Christians have to say about evolution, and it's an ever-changing field. The stuff I was reading even 10 years ago is out of date now. So it is a treadmill to try to keep up with the theory of evolution versus creationism debates. But you don't have to get into them at all. You just show them Alvin Plantinga's argument and call it a day. More on Sunday.